You're listening to the Zone Coverage Football Show, where opinions, passion, and pride are always on the line. Live from Teese Towers, here's your host, Mark Teese.
Hello. Welcome, pigskin lovers. How the hell is everyone? It is Sunday, the 11th of January, 2015, Divisional Weekend in the playoffs. And my, oh my, how fantastic were those games last night. I nearly dropped an F-bomb then to describe just how amazing those two games were. We will get into that in a moment. As usual, coming to you live via the Spreaker app, and I've already seen the chat room is open with the Spreaker app. I mention this every week. One of the best options we have available, in fairness. Go to Spreaker.com, just click in there. If you've got a Facebook, whatever, Twitter, just sign up. It's all free. I don't get nothing. It's no promotion for me. It's just a cool little area now where we have the chat room, and there's a thread of like 130 comments last week. It went wild. I can already see 5 in here already, so without further ado, my two Johns are in there. John McDonald, our resident Vikings fan, and John Carter, our Chiefs fan. Terry Rolt, who basically changed the way the show runs with the hot route, and we do have a good hot route today as well, so everyone's in there, so go ahead and do that. That is via Spreaker. If you are not in the Spreaker room, you can join us on the TuneIn app. Again, that's free. Just sign up, give a quick whack on that follow button, and away we go. Failing all that, what else can you do? Yeah, listen in the form of the podcast. Footy's on still. If you're still half and half in, shame on you. Pigskin's on. What are you playing at? Show's on. 90 minutes of utter madness before some headbutting with men in armour. Fantastic stuff. Right then, iTunes, Stitcher, do that, subscribe, all that sort of nonsense. Facebook page we do have. Twitter, @ZoneCoverageFS. Get them tweets coming in. Marty's just joined in on the Spreaker chat room. So, afternoon, guys. Thoughts on last night's games? I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Right then, what do we have coming on the show today? I have some new sounders, so I'm going to be playing with some buttons. So the sausage fingers might press the wrong button at the wrong time, but you should all be used to their madness by now. The hot route, I'm going to set that in a moment. Best touchdown from the wild card weekend. So I've got 3 little gems for you there. Got the radio comms. So we've got some good footage there I can play for that. We have the NFL news. I will catch up what's going on around the week. Couple of quotes for weekend words. We will play the Loveline feature. Fan versus fan, as far as I'm aware, should be all good. Cowboys Packers. I think we've got Junaid representing the Packers, and Nick, who was on a few weeks back with the Cowboys. Cowboys are actually 2-0 in this feature, so can he make it a hat trick? We will find out. Game reviews. Going to go over those 2 games from yesterday. There's a lot to talk about there. Fantastic stuff. Game previews. I've made some notes. I'm not overly sure if Simon's calling in for Matt Dundee NFL because I forgot to message him in the week, even though I said I would. Same goes for Tom. Just dropped Tom a message about 2 minutes into the show starting. So that is that. Right then, let's check in on Twitter. What do we have? Yeah, the main man, as always, Will Davies. Not only a hat rack, he says, "Evening, Mark. Do you agree that the divisional round is the best weekend of NFL action of the year?" Quite possibly, because next week we're only down to a couple of games, so you get your 2 games on your Saturday, 2 on a Sunday. There were good matchups as well. If you didn't see that Seahawks-Panthers game, do not be deceived by that scoreline. That was a fantastic game, equally as good as the Ravens-Pats game. That was a good game as well, so we'll get to that in a moment. Right then, I have a sounder for calling the show, so fingers crossed that this should work, and I'll give you the number to call the show. I just can't remember what button it is. What do I have to press? That one.
Still mad about that play? Curious if anyone else noticed that guard dominate this guy? Or simply just want to talk pigskin? Then call the show on 0161 818 4593.
So that's the number to call into the show, 0161 818 4593, as I seek to add a professional element to the show. We'll see how that goes, eh? Failing the phone lines, hit me up on Skype. That is T-Smister, so phone lines are open. Right then, let's delve into, let's get on now to the hot route. Let's get the hot route set, eh? That's going to be the best way. And I have a new sounder for the hot route, so here we go.
Hot route. Vote for your favorite play of the week.
Right then, so the hot route this week, we're going receiving touchdowns. We had a 51-yard touchdown pass from Stafford to Tate and the Lions-Cowboys game. We also have that fantastic touchdown pass from Andrew Luck to Dante Moncrief and the Colts-Bengals game. And the Panthers-Cardinals game, we feature Fozzie Whittaker and Cam Newton. So to help you decide on those, the hashtags, by the way, are going to be hashtag Tate, hashtag Fozzie, hashtag Moncrief. Spelling, I won't judge on spelling because I'm probably going to spell it out wrong when I put it out there in a moment. Anyway, so to help you decide on what you feel was the best touchdown of the divisional round, we will hit this. So here we go. Where's it gone? That one.
Stafford under center from his 49, second down and 10 with an I formation. Stafford now with hand signals. He looks to the left, he looks to the right, he gets the snap and he fakes the handoff and he drops back 5 and he moves up and throws a line drive downfield, caught by Tate at the 25. He's on the 20, the 15, the 10 on the numbers, the 5. He's chased into the end zone for a touchdown.
Second and 10. Luck steps up, in trouble. Luck throwing on the move, end zone. Oh, it's caught! Dante Moncrief over the shoulder grab for the touchdown. How did Andrew Luck do it? Magic from Luck. Indianapolis extends the lead as Luck extends the play.
Two receivers tight right. Newton in the gun with Fozzie Whittaker to his right. Newton takes a snap. Screen, right side Whittaker. 45, cuts back left at the 40. A little bit of room to 35, to the 30. Left side, 25-20. Sideline to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Carolina! Fozzie Whittaker goes 39 yards.
So there we go. The calls from last week's game and the call for the Stafford to the Lions-Cowboys game, I should say. That came via Kevin Harlan and Dan Fouts. That was from Westwood One Sports. The call for the Colts-Bengals game, that was via Ian Eagle and Mike Mayock. Again for Westwood One Sports. And the Panthers-Cardinals, the calls were made on that game by Dave Sims and Mark Malone. Also again for Westwood One Sports. And you can go over to westwoodonesports.com. Over there, you can catch, if you are at work and that, if you get to the TuneIn app, you can follow them on and tune in and listen to any live games. So I think they've even got the college game on, which I'll be listening to tomorrow night because I'm stuck at work. So I've sent out a tweet, so you guys get voting in there. Do we want hashtag Tate, hashtag Fozzie, hashtag Moncrief for the best touchdown from the divisional round of the... divisional round? Yeah, no, not divisional round. The wildcard weekend that happened last week. My word, too many new buttons and too many notes to get. We're going. Right then, let's get into what's coming up next. Some NFL news. NFL news. Right then, the first item that I have was Saints linebacker Junior Galette. He was arrested on Monday after a woman said that her face was scratched and her ear bloodied after an earring was ripped off. Galette was booked with a misdemeanor simple battery stemming from the disturbance at the player's house in New Orleans. The prosecutors can later charge him. I've not heard anything since. I don't know if Roger's going to drop the hammer on that. I'm sure we'll hear about it. You know how it is. And then into this was mentioned in last night's commentary, actually. Panthers head coach Ron Rivera and his family escaped a fire in the early hours at their family home in Charlotte. Apparently, Ron's wife woke up to smell smoke. The alarms went off and they all managed to get out safely. Following last week's game, the Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri, following his 53-yard field goal, he had a so-called random drug test. Absolutely mental. Well, if you also remember as well, happened again with the Colts. Punter Pat McAfee, he was randomly drug tested as well after he delivered that vicious hit on Broncos Trent Holiday. So someone's clearly watching the Colts a bit too... I don't know. It's just nonsense. How can it be random? He's made a 53-yard field goal and the punter actually tackled someone. Yeah, it's shocking, but does he need drugs to go do that? I don't know. The NFL, you're a bunch of morons, but we'll get into that at a later date. Right then, on into Redskins news. We have a new GM over in Washington, I can't read my notes. McLaughlin. Anyway, there's a guy called Scott. He's a Redskins new GM. I can't read my soddy notes. Talking of GMs, former Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum. He will be Miami's executive vice president of football operations. It starts on February the 1st. He was serving of the Dolphins as a consultant during last summer, so we'll see how that goes. The Giants, they parted ways with defensive coordinator Perry Fewell. This is old news, but Panthers star he was out, missed the game last night, fractured foot, so that was quite a big loss for the Panthers in fairness. Odell Beckham Jr., he is now in the Pro Bowl because Calvin Johnson has pulled out of the game due to injury. Rams fans will probably be rejoicing at this news, in fairness. Brian Schottenheimer, yes, the most dullest play calling mofo in the land. He has left the position of Rams offensive coordinator and he has gone to the University of Georgia. So, University of Georgia, enjoy that one. Chicago Bears cornerback Tim Jennings, he was arrested on charges of speeding, reckless driving, driving under the influence, per the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. He was stopped for speeding after an officer observed his white 2015 Mercedes travelling at 99 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. Well done, sir. The Kansas City Chiefs, they signed quarterback Terrell Pryor to a 1-year contract. Don't know what's going to happen there with Pryor, if they're just sort of testing the water. There's a lot of talk about maybe converting him to a tight end running back, something like that, so we'll see what happens there. Any thoughts on that, anyone? Chiefs fans, what's the crack there? What else do we have? The Browns, yeah. They parted ways with offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan and quarterbacks coach Dowell Loggins just after the one season there. So I've seen a report, there was something about some sort of texting and stuff going on. Apparently the NFL are investigating that. So things seemed okay in Cleveland, didn't they? We all thought that was under control there. And as the season developed, that sort of spiraled way out of control. What else do we have? Bears Ryan Pace. Not the Bears Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace has become the Bears' new general manager. Pace comes to Chicago after spending 14 seasons in the front office of the New Orleans Saints. The Bucs have hired Dirk Koetter as to become the new offensive coordinator. He called the plays for the Falcons for the last 2 years. Oh yeah, talking of dodgy stuff, the independent investigation into the NFL found there was no evidence that any league executive saw or was in possession of that infamous Ray Rice video. So the NFL have sort of been cleared of all the wrongdoings and nonsense there. So from their independent investigators, yeah, the less said about that, the better my end, I feel. It's all been done to death as well. Right then, let's have a look. Next one on the item. Jets running back Chris Johnson. He was charged and booked in Florida on Friday with second-degree misdemeanor. He had charged of carrying an open weapon/firearm, according to the online records of the Orange County Clerk of Courts. Dick LeBeau's legendary tenure in Pittsburgh, that is over. Mixed reports last night at first that they've mutually parted ways. And then LeBeau's come out and said, I'm resigning. I'm not retiring. 77-year-old. We'll see what happens there. He was in I can't remember the exact length of time he was in Pittsburgh for, but it's sort of, he's on a reputational sort of thing. He's done great things in the past. Was it time to move on? The Steelers, he hasn't been what we, that good old steel curtain, what we're used to and accustomed to seeing. So, again, probably stuff behind the scenes that's gone on there. The Jets and the Dolphins kickoff time was announced yesterday, as was the Bills and Jags. I forgot to write them times down, but I do believe one was 1:30 and the other was 2:30 a.m. So wake up to Wembley. All our American friends can wake up to Wembley twice next year. You're being spoilt. So that game, straight back to the hotel. An evening of football. Happy days for everyone. Right, I'm just going to try and make sense of what's going on in the chat room and Spreaker there. There's a lot of talk about the games from this past few days. So, yeah. The guys, if you want to go and join that, there's Terry, Scott, John, and John. I saw Marty. I think Sean was in there as well. So just go over to the Spreaker.com, sign up with your Facebook and that and whatever. Get in there. There's like an open thread. So you just join the gang in there. It's some cracking, sensible football talk. I think we had over 130 odd comments last week in there. So that is going on nicely. There's a lot of people talking about that. Yeah, Scott's just mentioned he's delighted with the early kickoffs for Wembley. I will say so am I, in fairness. It means I can watch the game, get back to where I need to be and catch the later games. It's all around happy days. Right, and I'm also going to check in on Twitter at Zone Coverage FS there. So we have a few notifications. People are voting on this week's Hot Route. Again, the hashtags are Moncrief, Fozzie, or Tate. So we have a couple of votes coming in, and people seem to like the Moncrief touchdown. So I will mark those down as we go. So, yeah. That is that. So if you want to vote on that, again, hashtag Tate, Fozzie, Moncrief, and we will play those sound again in a moment to see what happens. John, also on Twitter, at Cartwright John, thinks the Chiefs got Terrell Pryor as an off-season punch bag for Justin Houston to practice his sacks on. I like where you're going with that one. Right then, I've also got a DM. See this DM, fingers crossed. Yep, Nick is online, so we are Fan versus Fan is on. That's coming in 15 minutes. He's just woke up. I actually sent Nick a DM. It was yesterday, saying, "Oh, fancy coming on, represent your Cowboys again?" And he sent me a message back saying he just got back from the US. He was a guest of the Cowboys at the Detroit game last weekend. So that's going to be an interesting conversation there. Very curious to see how he landed that, what went on, and if he was seen in that box high-fiving Jerry Jones like all his cronies were. Right, what else? Again, phone lines are open, folks, if anyone wants to ring in. 0161 818 4593. I think I do have all my bases covered there. Yeah, the votes are coming in thick and fast this week on the Hot Route, so that is great stuff. Right then, I think we got all the news in there. Yeah, oh yes. We'll go through the entire list later on, but the Hall of Fame 2015 finalists, that was announced this week. There's a few names that we'll all know in there. Morton Anderson, Jerome Bettis, Terrell Davis, Kurt Warner. There's the list goes on and on. Tony Dungy, so great list there. We have time. Hopefully the link will work and I'll be able to reel off the entirety of the names there. Right then, so weekend words it is. Weekend words. I think I've planned correctly. If I have planned correctly.
Yes. I'm looking for a letter of recommendation. I've worked for you guys. Why don't you guys get on the goddamn phone and talk to somebody?
Yeah, so rant style, whatever that guy was rambling on about then. We have a weekend words. We have a few quotes that I've found from sort of around the league that I thought was of interest and fairness, so I'm going to share these with you. And the first one was like a main talking point from last week's game between the Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Head of officiating, Dean Blandino, he actually said that picking up the flag was debatable. And this is his exact quote. Here we go. "I think it's debatable. There was a left hand on Brandon Pettigrew's shoulder. But does that signify hindered? Did that significantly hinder the receiver's ability to make the catch? It hindered my ability to speak. Dean, thank you. Looking at all the angles, we're not convinced it is or it isn't. I think had the flag not been thrown, I think we would still have debated it. I certainly could have supported it if they'd left the flag down. I would have supported the foul. But I think it's a close judgment call when you have two officials with differing opinions on it." My word, that was a mouthful. So that was Dean Blandino's take on that. And don't ask how, but I managed to get my hands on a piece of transcript here. The pool report from Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys games with referee Pete Morelli and pool reporter Todd Archer. And this back and forth goes like this. Todd asks, can you talk about the decision to overturn the call and why you overturned the call? Morelli replies, the back judge threw his flag for defensive pass interference. We got other information from another official from a different angle that thought the contact was minimal and didn't warrant pass interference. He thought it was face guarding. Archer replies, what official? Morelli, the head linesman. Archer then says, what did you see? Morelli, it's not my responsibility. I'm 100 miles away. Archer then says, face guarding is not a foul. Morelli, face guarding is not a foul. It is a penalty in college, but not in professional football. Archer, what is the process you go through after you announce the call? Should you have waited before you announced the call? Morelli, probably yes. The information came and then the officials got together a little bit later. After it was given to me, the first information, it would have probably been smoother if we got together. Archer, do you remember this type of play happening before? Morelli, no, not particularly. Archer, so more time on who the person was that had a better view? Morelli, the better view was from the head linesman, so it didn't really shed a great deal of light there, but the media did go after the officials and sort of like say what was the crack there, and then Morelli sort of like dodged around it. It's not my responsibility. I'm 100 miles away. Either way, it needed a better explanation on the day. And what did everyone think of that? At Twitter, at Zone Coverage FS, there was a lot of chatter about this. And I get that the call was dodgy, and for me, the flag should not have been picked up. It was PI, done, dusted. It's easy decision. But what followed that was not good. The fact that, I don't know the Lions punter's name, I forget, but he only punted the ball 20 yards. You're not doing yourself any favours there, are you? So it's one of them. Right then, to check in on Twitter here, the UK Cowboys fans are rallying as they always do ahead of the feature. Right then, Scott Larkin says he's glad that you're saving my Broncos for fan versus fan for the 1st of February. We'll get you on there, Scott. We tried to a couple of weeks, so we will get that on and happening as we go. So back to the weekend words then. I had another quote from, Marvin Lewis on Red Sanchez, a.k.a. Andy Dalton. And this is what he had to say. I think that he continued to grow, which is great. I think that working with a new influence, as in Hugh Jackson and so forth, and to see that relationship continue to grow forward, Andy had a lot of pressure on his plate coming into this season, and he dealt with it and handled it, and he won another 10 football games. He continues to be very durable and resilient. I am glad he is on our team as we continue to move forward, and I am looking forward to him having his best season ever next season. So Marvin Lewis pretty much jumping to the defence of Andy Dalton, and for once, in fairness, that wasn't on Andy Dalton. I'm going to jump to the phone lines. We do have a call, so hello? Hello?
Hello, mate.
Hello, who's that?
It's Tom. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, Tom, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I've only literally just got your message, so I thought I'd give you a call in and say hello, because we're going out, the family are going out for a meal. It's my eldest's birthday tomorrow, so I just thought I'd get it in before we go out.
Oh, I appreciate that, buddy. I was curious then, because I didn't recognise the number, and he sounded a bit different, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm phoning from my mobile, so instead of phoning through Skype. So
cool.
That'll be what it is.
Before we get into this then, how was the big move? Because you've moved down there. Are you all settled on that now? Did that go well?
Yeah, I mean, the move's gone fairly well. We've had a little bit, in terms of the business side of things, we've had a little problem with some of the, well, shall we say, security of the hosting service that we use. So other than that, everything's gone cracking. I mean, we've managed to move down. Everyone's turned up and delivered everything pretty much when they're supposed to. So from a personal standpoint, we're laughing, but business-wise, we're just working through a few teething problems in the move. But yeah, it's all gone good. All good. Oh. Long move, but all gone well.
Oh, glad all's gone to plan, mate. Nothing worse than moving house, is there? It's stressful.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, as moves go, and considering the distance we were moving, both myself and Leslie have said actually it was quite an easy move, and we've done all right. it's been a lot easier than we thought it'd be. But I think that's partly down to the movers that we used as well. They were really good. So all in all, it's gone well, and sets us up fantastically for the next round of international series games. Anyway.
Yeah, because you're a hell of a lot closer now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm, because for those listening that don't know, that Huddle's relocated, we're about 45 minutes away from London now, so it should give us the opportunity to be a bit more involved in the stuff that goes on around the international series games and some of the NFL stuff that we get invited to that previously from Scotland we weren't able to go to. So it should be very advantageous to us being down here. And like I say, for Wembley, it's going to be great because I'm able to be right close and go down on the day instead of having to stay in London.
Awesome stuff. Right, buddy, I'll let you fire in with what you've got for us. So, I don't want to keep
I've not looked at anything at the moment, to be honest with you, mate. I mean, the only thing news-wise that I can tell you that you've probably already seen yourselves about Rex Ryan going to the Bills.
Yeah, Rex is going to the Bills. Much to
What's your thoughts on that?
It doesn't really affect me in any way, shape or form, in fairness. Rex is gone now. I'm over the fact that he's left the Jets. A lot of people are sort of moaning that he's gone to the Bills. I could have done with him being out of the division, but...
I mean, there'll be a lot of things about your organisation that he'll know that'll give him a slight advantage to begin with, but... I mean, other than that, I was thinking the same myself. It's not a massive change to your situation.
I just see it as someone that could potentially beat the Pats 2 times for us, and then it opens up the division. It's going to make the division very interesting. So I'm all for it. In fairness,
I think he got a bit of a raw deal in his exit from the Jets, to be honest with you. But it's the same as we always say every year, isn't it? Someone's got to pay the price when a team has a record like that. Few owners are the way Shad Khan is with Gus Bradley, where they're willing to accept it repeatedly. So I suppose kind of writing was on the wall.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Twitter's blowing up. Some of the fans on Twitter are absolutely mental.
Oh yeah, I know. Well,
it's great.
We spoke about that when I've been on JetPon podcast, haven't we?
Yeah.
Some of the fans are on Twitter.
It was the same though last night with the Pats fans and the Ravens fans when they went 14 up. I think Flacco was elite, and then he was a big pile of steaming garbage late on.
Yeah,
and I thought he had a fantastic game.
I didn't manage to see much yesterday, so I've not seen too much. But I'm hoping to catch, particularly today, I'm hoping to see Dallas Green Bay, because I think that's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah. If they're half as good as last night's, both games for me were absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the Panthers Seahawks game, that was a belter.
I mean, I'm hopeful as well. I mean, it is hopeful. I'm really hoping that the Colts beat Denver today as well. Not anything more than the personal hate that I've got for Denver. I hate Denver as a franchise, but that's because of the rivalries of the early years when Jacksonville were playing them regularly in playoff games, and it was just like, I hate you for keep beating us. So I hope the Colts win today and do it for the AFC South. But it's the only time I'll ever support the Colts.
Yeah,
I think to be honest, if they go out today, or even if they don't win the Super Bowl, I think their fans are going to go absolutely batshit crazy all over Twitter. For the investment that they put into winning the Super Bowl this season, I think anything short of that, their fans are just going to go crazy. Because we've just got to look at how much of the future they've really given up by investing in players for now, and if they still can't achieve it, I think heads will roll.
It's going to be interesting. It is like a win now mentality, and that is what happens after if it all does go wrong.
Well, this is it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you look at other franchises. Certainly, other franchises haven't suffered too greatly in the wake of a Super Bowl when they've invested in a win now team. But it's still taken them a good few years to get back to a position of challenging for a Super Bowl again. I mean, if you look at Indianapolis themselves, it's a good few years now where you can honestly say they look like they could challenge to win the championship game, and they look like they could go to the Super Bowl. And I mean, that could be the fate that's handed Denver, I think, in the wake of when Manning does eventually give it up, and when some of these older players that are around him also decide to turn it in as well. I think they might find it takes them several years of draft picks to pick up the slack.
Yeah, there's going to be it's going to nosedive for a couple of years. You would expect, wouldn't you? Once Peyton does decide to sail off into the sunset.
To be honest with you, I think as far as replacing Peyton goes, they'll be in the market for a trade or free agency. I don't think they'll pick up a QB through the draft, because to solve that problem so quickly, I mean, they're going to have to look at getting a trade with the team, or picking up a free agent that they think they can do something with, because otherwise, if you do win, even if they don't win the Super Bowl, they're in a position of picking so late down the first round that they may struggle to find someone instantly to replace him.
Yeah, there's always Mark Sanchez.
Well, I know, yeah, everyone seems to be interested in Sanchez until he plays. I suppose Colt McCoy's another option for him.
Yeah, Sanchez will team up with Rex and Buffalo.
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
Or me. He's got the tattoo of him, so why not?
Yeah. They've got to be... Buffalo themselves have got to be in the market for having someone stable to replace EJ Manuel.
Yeah, because they've got no first-round pick either.
Well, that's it. No first-round pick. And Orton, obviously, has turned his cards in and said, I'm not playing anymore until someone offers me mega money.
Yeah.
So... they're going to need a decent backup for Manuel, because if he gets injured again or he just can't deliver the goods again, then they need someone to come in. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if Sanchez is that guy.
Be very interesting. It'd be going to be interesting off-season. I'm curious to see how it all comes out in the wash, in fairness.
Yeah, well, it'll be really... It's going to be an interesting season. I'm hoping, obviously, from my end, that things improve for us, because going from a 4-12 record to this season having a 3-12 record isn't the kind of direction that I wanted it to go in.
No, and for me, Gus Bradley now, I feel that next year he's got to win a minimum of 6 games for you guys. I feel the pressure's building slowly.
To be honest, I think he's got to finish with an 8-8 record.
Wow, really?
Because you've only got to look at what Del Rio got sacked for. Del Rio finished the season with an 8-8 record, didn't he? And he was gone.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
There's only so many seasons that you can allow a losing record to continue before you have to start saying to the guy, well, you're doing a great job, and everyone talks about you, so you're God's gift to the universe, but it's not transferring into wins, and that's what counts.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, I like Gus Bradley. Like I say, from the dealings that I've had with him, the times I've seen him speak and stuff, like the press conferences and that, Wembley, and he comes across as the real deal, and I can understand why people are so enthused by the way he is. He's obviously a very good leader, but there's only so, as you say, there's only so long that can last before someone has to say, well, enough's enough now, and we need to move on, and we need to start winning games.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, mate. Right,
to be honest, mate, I'm really surprised we didn't win more this season. The way we played, I'm really surprised, but so is football.
Yeah, I think it's just injuries caught up, if you want it. Rookie quarterback, rookie receivers.
What we expected him to be either.
No, that did not pan out, did it?
No. So I mean, when you're looking at Denard Robinson, that's something that I think we need to target in the draft. Obviously, we need to pick up a receiver, but we also need to target a running back, because you look at Robinson, he's not built to be a running back. He's too flimsy. So you'll get a couple of good games out of him like we had this season, but for longevity-wise, he's going to get injured in that position, and we need to get someone who's tougher.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Right, Tom, I shall, again, I know we've still got like a good hour to go. Fan versus fan is coming up, so I want to try to jump to that, mate. I don't mean to cut this short or anything.
Who have you got on this week? Green Bay Dallas this week.
Yes, we have Packers Cowboys this week, so we have Junaid representing the Packers. Junaid's been on a couple of times before, but not for the fan versus fan. And we have Nick returning for the Cowboys. He's just sent me a picture of him and running back, the great running back Cowboys. My mind goes blank.
He was at Wembley and all, wasn't he? Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, yes. He's actually inboxed me a picture of him and Emmitt Smith, so I'll talk to him about that in a minute.
Lucky so-and-so. It was like when we were there, I was trying to find Dan Marino. I was the same there.
Find me a legend to have a picture with.
Yeah, I want a picture with a legend.
Yeah,
no.
Anyone.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll move on, my mate, and best of luck to both of those guys in the fan versus fan.
Awesome.
Just to say, obviously, we're still over at huddlemagazine.com, so get over there and check out what we do. There's a free sample of our work on there as well, so you don't have to pay to see what we do. Just get over there and have a look-see, and I'll speak to you probably next week a little bit more in-depth and probably a bit more usual with the news and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, Tom. Appreciate the call, buddy. Enjoy the family day out, and best wishes for the birthday tomorrow as well for Little one.
Okie dokie. Cheers for that, mate.
No problem, buddy. Take care. Enjoy the games tonight.
Then.
Speak to you later, mate. Bye. And that was Tom there from Huddle Magazine. So go over to @Huddle Magazine on Twitter, huddlemagazine.com. Like he said, there's a sample on there. So do go check that out. Right then. We do have everything sorted for Fan versus Fan. The guys are eagerly messaging me and DMing me, so I should get to this, really. So now it's time.
It's now time for Fan versus Fan.
Right then, bottle smashing there, hoping that that's not going to go happening on Twitter here. So Twitter, on Skype even. Oh, dear me, what is going on? Right, let's get to this. Let's give Nick a call. So, fingers crossed, we should get Nick on the line. So, Junaid, just hold tight, buddy. He did send me a message saying call him last. So, hopefully we do have Nick on the line any moment now. Hello, is that Nick?
Hello there, Mark. How you doing, fella?
I am very, very well, sir. How are you?
A little bit jet lagged, got to be said.
Yeah, I said earlier at the top of the show that I dropped you a message and you said you'd just landed back from the game last week. So we've done the introductions and that before. So tell me about how that came about and how was that as an experience?
It was incredible. So as you know, we helped them when they came to London for the Jacksonville game.
Yeah.
And we met a lot of the media team, met a lot of the players, and I was in Omaha with my family. My wife is from Nebraska, which is only a 2-hour flight away from Dallas. And I was just talking with Mickey Spagnola, speak to him every now and again, and they were just like, well, why don't you come down? You can stay with me and we'll get you a credential and you can have the time of your life. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, why not?
Hell yeah. So, yeah, no, I just went down for the weekend. I stayed with Mickey and went around Valley Ranch, just me and him. And I'll come to that in a minute because it's an important part of why Dallas are going to win today. And then during the game, got there early and I was up in the press box. Danny White came over to me and remembered me from London, and then went down to the sidelines where Emmitt Smith remembered me from London, which was very surreal. And I think the highlight possibly was meeting Papa John. He's a very, very strange individual.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, he was just giggling in my ear. We were taking photos of me and him throwing up the X like Des Bryant, and he was just giggling, and it was very, very strange. I don't know if he was just super excited or he is just that strange.
Yeah, too much pre-match wine, maybe?
Well, apparently everybody was thinking he was a bit smashed. Did you see the when the camera cut to him?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that looked like they'd been enjoying themselves a bit too much, in fairness.
Yeah, he was excited, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I got the picture as well that you sent me. The fantastic picture with Emmitt Smith there. So, how's Emmitt as a guy? Was he nice?
Do you know what? Since he's retired, he has become a far mellow person.
Yeah.
When I was in London, again with Mickey, we were waiting for the cheerleaders to take Mickey to an event, and Emmitt comes out, and they just get chatting away, and we're talking to him. And normally Emmitt doesn't have that kind of time, but obviously now, not being a player, he does, and he's so much more relaxed, so much just nicer and more patient. And he agreed to go on Mickey's show that he does in the week, and Emmitt, true to his word, did. And then on the sidelines, he came over and he was just really, really nice, just, really chatty. And then his wife, Pat, came over and couldn't stop hugging me and introducing me to a lot of her friends on the sideline. I was like, this is very, very strange. This is so strange.
I can imagine it was.
Say that again.
I say I can imagine it was very strange, very surreal, and
meeting the New Jersey Senator Chris Christie and Rick Perry, the Texas Senator, and it was just everybody on the sidelines is like, well, you're meant to be here, so hi, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I am very good right now.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Right then, Nick, what I shall do,
Okay,
I shall
fella.
try and get Junaid on the line now. He is the resident Packers fan, so
Okay.
fingers crossed I don't have the same trouble that I had last week where I put the other contestant on hold for about 20 minutes.
Right, okay.
So hopefully we can add Junaid to this call if technology does not fail me. So let's see how that goes. Right then, so he should be adding. Yes, I've got 2 pictures up there, so are you still there, Nick?
Yeah, I am.
You're still there. So Junaid, answer your phone, please, buddy.
Hello?
Hello, is that Junaid?
Yeah, it's me. How you doing?
I am very well, Junaid. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
I'm very good. Nick is already on the line. He's representing the Cowboys, so...
Junaid,
Hi,
Junaid,
Junaid. Hey, I wasn't even going to start with the cat calling, but if you want to, we can go there. We can go there right now, no problem.
Oh, I just had to do it once, innit?
Yes, once is all you're going to get.
Right then, Junaid. It's been a few weeks since we've last spoke, so how have you been? I know you're into your TV shows and stuff. Anything sort of that we should be watching out that's been good?
Quite a few shows. Agent Carter, but that's not been aired in the UK.
All right.
Yeah, it's like a spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen
Person
that
of
one.
Interest, that's pretty good.
I've only got into about first season of that Person of Interest, and then I just sort of lost track of it, but I'll catch up with it on Netflix.
Yeah, trust me,
at some
it's
point.
really good. It gets even better.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
I don't feel...
I've just been watching loads of new movies as well.
Well, I went last night to watch The Foxcatcher. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I watched that the other day.
Oh, what a film.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Good film. Right, Junaid, I don't know if we ever discussed how you became a Packers fan. If you want to give a bit of background on that. We had Nick's background the other week. If you want to just do that briefly.
Yeah, basically, I was just started watching the NFL and then sort of narrowed down the teams, and then the Packers were playing the Raiders. It was basically one of those 2 teams. And whoever won, I'll pick them.
So you could have been a Raiders fan and had the same sort of misery that I have as a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Right then, we'll jump into this then, guys. What we'll do is you're both going to get 2 minutes each to tell me why, or tell the listeners why you believe your team will win today. We'll then put it out to the Twitterverse, and we'll get the votes in, tally them up, and hopefully... Well, no, we will get a winner. We've never had a tie. If we had a tie, I don't know what's going to happen there. So fingers crossed we will get a winner. As I rung you first, Nick, I will give you the choice of heads or tails, sir.
Ooh, I'm hoping it'll be heads, so I can offer the floor to my green counterpart.
Right then, here we go. Here's the coin. It is heads, sir.
Good man. I will offer the floor to Junaid and listen to him capitulate.
Right then, so Junaid, the floor will be yours in 1 second. I do have a buzzer, so if you hear this rather annoying sound if it plays, I don't know if you can even hear that or not.
You got that?
Yeah. Right, so if you hear that, that is it. Time is up, done and dusted. So Junaid, if you are ready.
You're right. The Packers are going to win because who's our quarterback? Aaron Rodgers. Even though he's not 100%, he's still got Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, who both have over 1,000 yards receiving, plus 13 or 12 touchdowns. We have a 1,000-yard rusher. Our offensive line is in the top 5 in terms of rating, sack rating. Aaron Rodgers has not thrown an interception at home since 2012. We're undefeated at home. Our defense has played much better recently. Secondary is improved. You got include Clinton Dix. Our defensive line is very underrated, including Mike Daniels, who's been superb. Well, obviously it's going to come down to the offenses, and I think ours is better overall in terms of the wide receivers we have, and in terms of the tight ends as well as the running backs. And plus we're playing at home, so we get the advantage.
Is that it, Junaid? No more?
Yeah.
Oh, you got right, he did that under a minute, saved that rather annoying buzzer. Right then, Nick, I just reset my clock. And,
I was going to say, under a minute. Hasn't got a lot to say, clearly.
No. Right then. Right. So,
I don't need to. I don't need
no,
to do the
no. You finished
show on
fella.
the
You
field.
finished now. Sit back down.
Right then, Nick. Off you go, sir.
Right. Well, I'm going to use the full 2 minutes. So basically, this is going to be like a matchup of fire and ice. And when fire and ice collide, we know who wins. Okay? Fire does every time, and that's the Cowboys. You can talk about all the offensive stats and defensive stats, and we're actually quite very similarly matched. Number 1 and number 2 quarterback in the leagues, both wide receivers, top wide receivers are on fire, to use that word again. You know, the running backs, we've got the number 1 running back in the league, and when we run more than 20 times with DeMarco Murray, we win. And that's what we'll do, because that's what we've been doing every week on the road, which is why we're undefeated on the road. We're a different animal when we're on the road. But throughout the whole team, throughout the whole organization, we're a different animal. And I've been witness to that when I went down to see the Cowboys play against Detroit. From going around Valley Ranch, seeing all the heritage on the walls, all the pictures, all the words, all the, you know, the signs of fight, and it's a privilege to be here and find a way to win. That's permeated from not just the staff and the team, but all the way to the top. Even Jerry is now on board and sounding like a proper general manager. He doesn't shoot his mouth off and you know, say, yes, we're going to win because we're awesome. He's far more, you know, considered and thoughtful in everything he says. But going back to the team and going back to all this speak about not winning or not throwing interceptions at home and, you know, being undefeated at home for God knows how long, Aaron Rodgers is coming into this game hurt. It is that crucial. It is very important that he is 100%, because if he's not, that means that McCarthy is going to have to wipe off a few plays off his playbook. If he gets injured during the game, he wipes out more than half. So it is very crucial that we get the pressure onto Aaron Rodgers from the very outset. I'd even go in there and have a late
just
roughing
gone
the passer
there, Nick.
call.
I'm sorry to jump in there, mate.
Are we done? I didn't even hear the buzzer.
Yeah, I did press the buzzer.
See, I've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I need more than 2 minutes.
Maybe we'll extend.
Less than 1 minute? What the heck is
Just
that?
like Jerry Jones, you talk too much.
Oh, right then, guys.
Before that's Green Bay altogether, they're just cheap.
Right, but then before this gets a little too feisty, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drop a tweet that says hashtag Junaid, hashtag Nick, rally round the fans, and I will tally them votes up over the next 30 minutes or so, and I will give the victor a ring back, and we'll chat some more if that's good with both of you.
Good man.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right then, Junaid.
Speak soon.
Yeah, Junaid, thank you for coming on, taking part, and as for you, Nick, rising from your bed from the jet lag.
I'm just in bed now.
You're just in bed.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I've been in.
Oh, not good. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
It might just be the stress of the game.
Yeah, this is it.
See, that's another thing. I'm not even stressed. I'm very relaxed.
Yeah, I'm more stressed though with every game we play, even if we play the Bucks. Just the way I am.
Yeah, we'll leave it on that.
I was thinking of something to say, but then I thought, hang on a second, this is live radio.
Yeah, there's an awkward pause there. Right then, guys, I shall leave you to it. Again, much appreciated that you've come on and helped me out with this feature. And I shall speak to one of you in a moment. And if not, enjoy the rest of the games coming up.
All right, take care.
Bye. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye. Right then, so that is this week's good old fan versus fan.
It's now time for fan versus fan.
And again, if you want to register for fan versus fan, you can do so by hitting me up on Twitter at ZoneCoverageFS. You can also email into the show. That is a zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com. Also, you can go to the website, which I do not plug enough, zonecoveragefootballshow.com. Go to the contact us. There's a little form that you can fill in there, and you can actually tick the fan versus fan box. I'm sort of compiling a list as we go. So if you want to register, I know the season's coming to an end soon, but get down on the list and that'd be fantastic. We can get that going. So yeah, the tweet's gone out for Fan vs Fan. So hashtag Junaid, hashtag Nick. So get them tweets coming in. There's a few coming in already. Again, I forgot to emphasise with the guys, but no retweets, no favourites, at mentions only. I repeat, at mentions only. Right then, so here we go. Yeah, we do have a couple of some coming in straight away. Also, I'm going to keep you busy this week, guys. Guys and girls, do we have any women listeners, by the way? I've not really seen any pop up. Just someone, I don't know, if you're a woman, tweet in. That sounded quite desperate. Do you know what I mean? We don't really hear from women on the show. Anyway, let's back out of that avenue that I'm going down. And, right, let's go back to the Hot Routes. This week's Hot Routes, in case you've tuned in late, 50 minutes ago we did start, so you might have missed it. You might have been busy dishing out the kids' dinner and stuff like that. This week's Hot Route was basically the best touchdowns from Wild Card Weekend. We had Tate's touchdown in the Lions-Cowboys game. We had Dante Moncrief's touchdown in the Colts-Bengals game. And we had Fozzie Whitaker's touchdown from the Panthers-Cardinals games. And I asked you to let me know what you thought was the best touchdown of the weekend. And then hashtag Tate, hashtag Fozzie, or hashtag Moncrief. But to help you guys decide, and I'm desperate for a drink, this is a little bit of audio. So sit back, enjoy this, and then tweet at Zone Coverage FS.
Stafford under center from his 49, second down and 10 with an I formation. Stafford now with hand signals. He looks to the left, he looks to the right, he gets the snap and he fakes the handoff and he drops back 5 and he moves up and throws a line drive downfield, caught by Tate at the 25. He's on the 20, the 15, the 10 on the numbers, the 5. He's chased into the end zone for a touchdown.
Second and 10. Luck steps up, in trouble. Luck throwing on the move, end zone. Oh, it's caught! Dante Moncrief over the shoulder grab for the touchdown. How did Andrew Luck do it? Magic from Luck. Indianapolis extends the lead as Luck extends the play.
Two receivers tight right. Newton in the gun with Fozzie Whitaker to his right. Newton takes a snap. Screen right side Whitaker. 45, cuts back left at the 40. A little bit of room to 35, to the 30. Left side 25-20. Sideline to the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown, Carolina! Fozzie Whitaker goes 39 yards.
Right then, so that is the replay of this week's Hot Route. Again, the calls are by Kevin Harlan, Dan Fouts for the Lions-Cowboys. The calls for the Colts-Bengals, that was by Ian Eagle, Mike Mayock. And the call for the Panthers-Cardinals games, that was by Mark Malone and Dave Sims, all courtesy of WestwoodOneSports.com. And again, you can go over to WestwoodOneSports.com and listen to the live commentary from today's games and the college game on Monday. They do have an account on TuneIn as well. So if you're stuck at work like I will be Monday night, just go give that a listen. So great stuff via WestwoodOneSports.com. There, right then. The other part of the Hot Route, it was mentioned to me in the week and I completely forgot, but it was announced maybe Monday, Tuesday, Hard Knocks. Yes, Hard Knocks returns. Love Hard Knocks. I always get to Hard Knocks, you think, oh God, this team are garbage, but you always sort of get dragged in and they're just well put together shows, a fantastic insight as to what goes on behind the scenes. And the 9 teams that are available are the Giants, the Redskins, the Vikings, the Browns, the Rams, the Bucks, the Texans, the Jags, and the Titans. Those are the only 9 teams due to the fact that teams that have a new head coach or have been to the postseason for the past 2 years running are exempt from selection. So, thoughts on Hard Knocks? Who would you want to see on Hard Knocks this year? That's on top of hashtag Tate, hashtag Fozzie, hashtag Moncrief for the Hot Route. I will give you a little insight to that. Moncrief is winning that, by the way. And Fan versus Fan, Nick and Junaid, that is perilously close. So, really, really good stuff there. So, yeah, what are we approaching now? 5 to 5. I completely forgot to contact the guys at Dundee NFL. I do have an inbox message, so no, that's from Junaid from earlier. So, that is that. Epic fail on my end. Right, so what do we have? What else is coming up on the show today? We have I got through the entirety of the NFL news, the chat in the Spreaker room. I do apologise, guys. I've not been able to join in there, but there's a lot going on. I think we might break the record that was set last week. A lot of talk about college football now. Mariota, Winston, Manziel, Hoyer. There's a lot of quarterback talk going on in there. So if you want to jump in on the Spreaker app again, just go to Spreaker.com. There's an app for all sorts of your mobile devices. Just register there, find the show, and as soon as you click on like listening live to the show, it opens up like a chat room, and there's a live thread going on there now. And that's been going since the show kicked off. And even though that when the show is done and it's wrapped up and you can't hear my nonsense spewing out of my mouth anymore, you can still go to the actual thing and you can add comments after. So maybe you've heard this back on a replay via iTunes or Stitch and you're thinking, I'll go check that out. Read the thread and you can still drop some comments. I think a few guys did do that later on in the week. So you can catch up what was said, and if there's any interesting points that you want to raise or make, then feel free to do so. And if I remember, someone gives me a nudge, I'll bring them up next week on the show, or just simply, you're there, you've signed up, just come and join in the fun. So this is becoming a nice regular slot now. 90 minutes before kickoff, a lot of good sensible talk going on there. And it's sort of free reign. I can't monitor it, but everyone seems to be behaving rather well. So again, back to the fan versus fan. So keep those tweets coming in. That was hashtag Junaid he put his case forward in regards to the Packers beating the Cowboys tonight, and it was hashtag Nick, the Cowboys fan. So great arguments there from those guys. Right, I know what we didn't do last week. We did not get in to the Loveline. Right then, so coming up now, it's the Loveline. Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show, Loveline. And of course, that signifies the Loveline feature. If you're a new listener, the Loveline, don't worry, we don't review any dodgy adult movies or set you up on dates, nothing like that. This is where we give the big guys on either side of the line a little bit of love. We get all these diva receivers and cornerbacks getting all the glamour and the highlights and all that sort of stuff and all the praise and adulation, and we all bow down at their feet. And yet, without the big guys on the line, these superstars would not be superstars. So this is where we just kick back. I have a drink of juice, basically, while I play that music. That is a little peek behind the curtain. It's the only reason that happens. Totally thrown myself. So we give a couple of big guys a little bit of a shout-out, a little bit of an insight as to who they are, because I don't know every person's tackles, guards. It'd be crazy geeky in my end. The wife thinks I love pigskin more than her anyway, so but that's a debate maybe for another show. So right then, let's just get into this because I am rambling utter nonsense. First up, we have Ricky Wagner. So Ricky Wagner, we give you some love, sir. He is a tackle for the Ravens, 6'6", 310 pounds. He was born in West Allis, Wisconsin. He played college ball for Wisconsin. He featured in all but one game during his freshman year, made his first start at right tackle the following season. Oh, God, my notes are a mess. 12 games he played the following season. He started in 10 of those. Then during his last 2 seasons in college ball, he started all but one game. He was then selected by the Ravens in the 2013 draft. He was a 5th round pick. He was taken off the board 168th overall. He started 2 games during his rookie year, but he started all but one this season. So that is Ricky Wagner, a tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. excuse me, I need some music where I can just cut to so I can just basically burp off air. Anyway, up next, Lane Johnson for the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, 6'6", 317 pounds, born in Groveton, Texas. Interesting fact here, he actually played quarterback whilst at Groveton High School. During his college career, very interesting one. At Gilgore College, he played a bit of quarterback, bit of tight end. He was then transferred to the University of Oklahoma, where he played tight end and D-end. He then switched to play tackle. A very bizarre little career during his time at college here. He started 12 of 13 games at right tackle. The next year, he switched to left tackle. So this has been a bizarre transition, numerous places, both sides of the ball. He then goes off the board as the 4th overall pick in the 2013 draft. He started all 16 games of his rookie year, and he's had 12 starts this year. So that is Lane Johnson and Ricky Wagner. We applaud you, the big guys up front, giving you some love this week. And if you want to send in some nominations for some big guys on your line, Zone Coverage FS is the best way to do that, and hit me up on email, zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com as well. Phone lines are still open, guys, 0161 818 4593 if you want to call in. I've got a lot of notifications to catch up on, so I need to play this, the Loveline outro, which is the intro as well, but just bear with me. Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show, Loveline. Right then, so that was the Loveline. I did get asked a question earlier on, and I have lost it, so I am furiously scrolling back now. I think it was in regards to Rob Ryan, and I can't remember who asked that question. The timeline has gone absolutely wild since, so if you just bear with me one moment. Yes, it was from Robert. Robert, I forget how you pronounce your name, Robert. We had this problem last time, and I've made a fool of myself again. Walked straight into that trap, but he says, Ryan Pace, Bears GM, was highly regarded at the Saints and should do well. What do you think of Rob Ryan staying at the Saints? Some of it's sort of been swept under the rug down in New Orleans. Rob Ryan staying with the Saints, I reckon he's on a very, very short leash. I think maybe him and Sean Payton are just like two similar sort of personalities that sort of maybe clash on the field, but when they sit down maybe collectively and have ideas together, and one's allowed to... I think Sean wasn't getting his sort of freedom. Well, none of them really. We're getting each other's sort of freedom where the offense would go out and do some crazy plays, run up the score, and then the defense can get a bit more creative, thus giving the offense a bit more opportunity to maybe try a few bits out. And in hindsight, that didn't work with the Saints struggling and forcing the ball turnovers, and then the defense was on the field too much. So they just never seemed to be on the same page. I don't think they both got what they wanted, but you look at the first season, it went down really well. I think Kenny Vaccaro and a few of the other guys, they've had a dressing down. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I would imagine that Rob's on a short leash. If the Saints carry on in the miserable form that they were in towards the back end of the season, let's say after about 6 games, the 2-4, Rob Ryan is probably down the road. So we'll see how it pans out. I was quite shocked, if I'm honest, that he actually managed to stay on there. But then again, what's out there? It would have been bizarre if maybe Rob had gone and they got Rex in, something like that. Anyway, right then, back to Twitter. Get them tweets coming in. We are about 12 minutes left on the Fan versus Fan. Cameron at C4MIN, he says, looking forward to tonight's games. Looking to see... who will be coming to the Clink next Sunday. Wilson and the Legion of Boom await. So yes, talking of those games, let's do a little delve into the games. So I think I did have a thing for the thingies, the game previews, game sounds, something like that. I've got something somewhere. Anyway, let's just press this button, see what happens.
Are you ready for some football?
Yeah, it worked. Fat fingers, got the right button. Woohoo! Right then, are you ready for some football? Let's have a look at last night's games. The Ravens 31, the New England Patriots 35, and God damn you Patriots mofos. Right, but before we get into this, top of my notes, I have if the Pats had to get, there was a lot of controversy basically going around that how the Pats were lining up. They were just 4 down linemen, and then one was declaring not eligible. So it was confusing. The Ravens didn't know who was lining up where and who was eligible, who wasn't. They were saying that they didn't receive notice of who to match up against, and so on and so on. Brady sort of replied and said, Luke, go check the rule book. It's all there, plain black and white. But my sort of argument for this is it's the ultimate compliment. If the Patriots had to go so deep into the rule book to find these rules and then to whip out a Danny Amendola touchdown pass, is that not the ultimate sign of respect? Because they know that the Ravens have got their number. And I know that the Ravens blew 2 14-point leads, but to me, the fact that the Pats have had to go so deep into their repertoire of tricks and whatever you want to call it is to find some form of advantage to beat the Ravens, then that tells you a great deal about how much respect and how fearful they actually were of losing that game. Is it controversial? No, it's within the rules. It's one of them, isn't it? If your team's done it, you're like, yeah, pure genius. If it's against you, I can understand why you'd be miffed and fairness. So that's what I've got to say on top of that. It's very clever. It's one of them things. It stings like hell if you're a Ravens fan. But this game, for me, set the tone for the weekend. The 2 games that are on today, they have got some living up to do because these games were special. Enjoyed them immensely. So right then, the Pats, they've advanced obviously to the AFC Championship game next Sunday. 35-31 victory over the Ravens. I said it was a belter of a game. The Pats had to come from behind twice as the Ravens' 14-point lead just wasn't enough in the end to see them over the finish line. Ravens started off strong. They marched the ball down the field. Came out aching, caught a 19-yard touchdown pass from Joe Flacco. That capped a 5-play, 71-yard drive. The first drive then for the Pats, they come up empty. I was tweeting this out from my personal account, but CJ Mosley, he was out covering Gronk on that first drive. They threw to him a couple of times or in sort of area, and Mosley was pretty much decent coverage on Gronk. It was effective, but they went away from this late on, which killed him, bit him in the end. I'll talk about that a little bit more as I get through this game. But yeah, the next drive then, obviously the Ravens have got the ball. They go another 11 plays, 79 yards. Sealed with Steve Smith, a juggling 9-yard touchdown pass. Caught that on Darrell Revis. So had a bit of I wouldn't say a poor game, but a weird game by his standards. Got flagged a couple of times. Some possibly a bit dubious, but that's me being a fan of Revis more than anything. But yeah, a few calls there on Revis that sort of helped the Ravens out, in fairness. Obviously, after gone 14-0 down, the Pats, they responded with an 8-play drive. 8-play, a 78-yard drive of their own. Brady taking advantage of what he saw. I think of most of the guys lined up to his right. Big opening left-hand side, big hole. What man-to-man coverage. Just took the ball and run. 4-yard touchdown, 14-7. Midway through the second quarter then, Gronk seeing a lot less of Mosley and a lot more of the ball. They took Mosley off him. And that... Oh, excuse me. That went the wrong way. Right then, so Gronk's getting more and more involved as this game's going on, and the Pats tie it up with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Amendola. We're then inside the final 2 minutes of the half. Brady's picked off by Smith. 7 plays later, Joe Flacco, who for me, people are going to moan about his 2 touchdowns. He was throwing deep, but I tip my cap to that. Joe Flacco's got this balls to the wall mentality of like, yeah, I'm throwing it, stop me if you can, and fair play to you. You live or die by that, I suppose. But yeah, 7 plays later, Flacco, he threaded the eye of a needle with a beautiful, and I mean an absolutely beautiful pass to tight end Owen Daniels. The Ravens are up 21-14 at the half. It was a fantastic game. There was a picture, I think loads of people were screenshotting where Brady's sort of head sort of shrunk down, and his shoulders, and he's hunched over, looked a bit depressed and annoyed with himself that his pick had led to those points. So we open up then the second half, and the Pats opened up with a punt. Ravens defense coming out strong. Flacco and the Ravens, they go to work. 14 points up again for the second time in the game, thanks to Justin Forsett. This was a 16-yard touchdown pass off Joe Flacco. That capped it, what was a 70-yard drive. Straight after that, the Pats, they respond with an 80-yard drive of their own. All the way on this one, this was interesting to me. Gronk was pretty much as a decoy. They lined him up in a few positions along the way, even set him in motion. Brady, patient as ever, waited for the matchup he got, one-on-one against a smaller corner. Him and Gronk have got a magical secret hand signal. Boom, 5-yard touchdown, Pats back win within a score. The Ravens, the punt, next drive. Then the Pats, they tie things up. Danny Amendola, touchdown pass to Julian Edelman. That went for 51 yards, 28 each. Flacco then throws what was his first pick and what felt like all eternity in regards to the playoffs. And into the fourth we go. Ravens opening drive, that results in a Justin Tuck field goal from 25 yards. And yeah, you guessed it, the Pats, they responded then with another fantastic pass. Brady hit LaFowl, 23 yards, and the Pats got their first lead of the game, and it was 35-31. Flacco, he just kept balling, kept going for it, and he did it. He killed him in the end, failed to look off the safety. Harmon picked him off. The Patriots, they're then trying to knee this one out. It's within like the last couple of minutes. They've got 14 seconds left, have the Ravens. 14 seconds left. The Pats have got punt. The Pats punt. And what annoyed the crap out of me. Why not fair catch? They didn't fair catch it. The Ravens trying to run side to side. They left with 4 seconds left in the game. Flacco, Hail Mary, into the end zone. The Pats bat the ball away and advance. It was an absolute fantastic game that you cannot watch on Game Pass yet because it's sodding blacked out thanks to Sky. Tell me how annoyed I was this morning when I tried to rewatch some of that game for me analysis. Very, very frustrating, Sky. Stop it. Right then. On then into the Panthers-Seahawks game. This one again. Belting game, absolutely fantastic game. Hard act to follow. You were thinking this Panthers Seahawks going to be a low scoring game, and as I said earlier, do not let the final score deceive you. If you've not seen this game, I pulled an all-nighter. The wife was ill, got her tucked up in bed, dosed up, bit of night nurse. About 9:30, bump, gone. Watched both games. I went to bed about 4:30 this morning. I'm suffering now because I went to bed at 4:30. I get up at 8:30, take a work, but never mind. Less of that, more of the game. Final score, don't let that deceive you. Cam Newton, for me, I thought Cam Newton played damn well yesterday. Cam Newton had a good game. Yeah, there's the pick, the 91-yard touchdown, interception, whatever, but he made some nice reads. Got the ball into some tight windows. He moved the chains effectively. He was still a little high on a couple of them. I saw him putting a bit more touch on the ball this week because he usually just, if you're 2 yards away and he needs a little floaty over, he rifles it in 1,000 mile an hour, try and take your head off. He was better this week. It's still not bob on, but he's getting better. So Newton had a decent game. This was just punt. Panthers, they had a few third and manageables, couldn't convert. Likewise for the Seahawks. The Panthers D, they stood firm. Then the Seahawks, they get off the board early doors. Well, not early doors. I think it was towards the end of the first quarter, yeah. Russell Wilson hits Doug Baldwin for a 16-yard touchdown. And on the build-up to this, one of the other matchups that was interesting, Luke Kuechly on Marshawn Lynch. Lynch was doing his own read. Wilson, he was spying on those guys. And obviously, Seahawks, Wilson, a clever crowd, like Brady did with Gronk. They sort of picked their opportunity. On this touchdown pass, if you go back and watch it, they split Lynch out wide. Who goes with him? Kuechly goes with him. The Panthers in an all-out blitz. Your best coverage linebacker is way out on the sideline. Just a little dink over the top. Nice pass from Wilson. Baldwin, easy 16-yard touchdown. Seahawks, 7 up. The Panthers, they hit back in the second. 14-play, 79-yard drive, capped by a touchdown reception from Kelvin Benjamin from 7 yards out. The Seahawks, they moved back and front as Jermaine Kearse made. This is an absolutely fantastic one-handed catch. He went 63 yards to the house. And there's a bit of... The comms on about it. Did he sort of push off? Did they have arms on each other? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It wasn't called. He went 60-odd yards to the house and just game on. It was absolutely fantastic. And then it was bedlam. The half ended. It was absolute utter bedlam. Newton hits Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown, but wait. Benjamin hasn't got his second foot down. Madness. And then Earl Thomas picks off Cam Newton. The Seahawks are going absolutely berserk. No, it comes back. Earl Thomas, as he's gone to the ground, the ball's hit the ground, and they say that he used the ground control the ball. Comes back, it goes down as an incomplete pass. More madness. The Panthers get to within field goal range. Cam Chancellor, wow, what a game he had. He must have had the snap count down to an exact art. He runs, jumps over the entire line, and just lands in front of the kicker. I don't know how he didn't get the ball, but the kicker made it. Madness. Absolute madness. Kicker made it. There's a flag. You have to do it again. And you're thinking, he can't do it again. Cam Chancellor runs, jumps over the line again. This one is missed wide, and there's another flag. Chancellor is deemed to have run into the kicker, who, to be fair, will be getting an Oscar award for that pathetic fall there. But third time lucky, they managed to convert that, and I think it was 14-10 at the half. Second half then, a combo of Wilson and Lynch. A couple of runs from those guys. That led to a field goal to put the Seahawks up by 7. Then it was the Wilson and Wilson combo. That kicked in. He hit his tight end on a key third down. And then he hit him again for a 25-yard touchdown. And then late on, we had some cam-on-cam crime as Cam Chancellor picks off Cam Newton, goes 91 yards to the house. Game done and dusted. Cue absolute bedlam up in CenturyLink. An amazing game. But yeah, loved it. So that was your Panthers and the Seahawks. 2 great games. Whoever wins today's game, was it now? Who's playing today? He's playing today. Cowboys Packers. They go up into Seattle to take on them next Sunday. And Broncos Colts, they will travel to New England to take on the Pats. Oh, wow. I think that is that. Right then, everyone is going absolute bedlam in the Spreaker app. Voting is done and dusted on Fan versus Fan. So we do have a winner there. So that is a Fan versus Fan done. Everyone that's voted on that, brilliant stuff. Really, really appreciated. So we will go to the phone lines once again, and let's see if we can get the winner on. So yeah, here we go. So I'm now ringing the winner to this week's Fan versus Fan. So fingers crossed we have our winner on the line. Hello, Nick.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Very well, sir. You've won again.
Without doubt.
Yeah, I tell you what, Junaid pushed you close. This is the closest that Cowboys Nation have been pushed.
Oh my God! Obviously, I didn't do enough with the stats.
Well, this is it. Yeah, you need that 1 minute, and
do you know what? It's when you go over the buzzer and talk too much. People are like, "Oh God, he's a blowhard. Can't vote for him."
No, in fairness, yeah, I can see that point of view. But in fairness, I can hear the buzz on my end. But I think when it's used on the sound effects are used on Skype, it is difficult to hear.
Especially when I'm talking.
Yeah, yes. Especially when you're mid-flow. Yeah, these things happen.
I've just been watching all the Cowboys media team and their videos of pulling into Lambeau Field, and it looks cold there, man.
Oh yeah, it does. Ice Bowl too.
Yeah. I'm wishing I was there. Unfortunately, I couldn't change my flights. The wife wouldn't let me. No,
I was going to say that would be skating on thin ice. I'll be home in another couple of days. Just got to stop at Lambeau.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not coming back to London, babe. I'm not coming back ever again.
You're a braver man than me, sir. I give you that. So right then, you've won today. Last time, I think last 2 times that the Cowboys fans have won this, you went up to Seattle, beat the Seahawks, and then last time round you went into Philadelphia, beat the Eagles. Do you firmly believe it's going to happen today?
Three's a charm, isn't it?
Yeah, so we say.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. But the thing is, we've had a good week of preparation. The temperature in Dallas has actually been very similar to Green Bay. So I know it sounds wishy-washy that you're trying to acclimatize in a week or you do these extra things, but they do have an effect. When you're a professional player, you remember these things. It's all about muscle memory and performance memory. And I've got a good feeling. The guys are out there right now running around in, sleeveless tops, getting used to the temperature. And to be fair, the temperature's actually gone up today. It's not as cold as it's been all week, so it's actually warmer out there. So temperature is negligible. They just know that they have to perform and, finish their assignments, do their job. As they say on all the placards, even on their hotel room keys, it says, finish the fight.
Nice.
And that's what they need to do. They just need to realize that this is their chance. This really is their chance of doing something special.
I like that. The subliminal messages wherever you go. It's it become developing a mindset. Let's go win this. Yeah, I like that. It's a good idea.
Exactly. As Coach Garrett brought all that in as well, because it'd been a little bit bare in Valley Ranch and everywhere with the previous coaches. Bill Parcells apparently tried to do something similar, but didn't quite resonate. But if you go around Valley Ranch, they have all the photos of the banners with the words. They have all the heritage, so photos of all the Super Bowls, all the Ring of Honor people, all the Hall of Fame members. They have it everywhere just to make the players realize you are part of something special. Being a player for the Dallas Cowboys, being a coach for the Dallas Cowboys is something that you should treasure. It's an honor to do it. And I think that's something that was lost.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There was sort of like that stale patch, wasn't there? And there was sort of like no fight and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good to see that they sort of recognise that, and it's like that. We need to improve on. You got these fantastic facilities, but also we need to focus on the mental approach as well to games.
That's exactly it. That's what the guys are saying. It's like the mentality there has shifted.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, not just with the players, but right to the top.
Right then, Nick. Again, okay, I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything you want to plug? Because I know you got a lot of Cowboy stuff that you're involved in, and if you want to give a quick shout out.
It'd be great to do a shout out to all the UK Cowboys fans that listen, to my counterparts Jamie and Lauren, and we've got some watch parties going on up in Leeds. There's one which Jamie will be hosting, and then there's another one in London which myself and Lauren will be hosting. Of course, if I don't go to the Super Bowl, we shall see. But by all means, do check us out at ukcowboysfans.com and all the details of there and how to get yourself some tickets and join in with the fun.
Brilliant. Right, Nick, you never know. I might be ringing you for the Super Bowl special if this sort of run continues.
Yeah, I hope so too, mate. I hope so too.
Okay. Well, failing that, Nick, take care, enjoy the game, and hope to speak to you sooner rather than later, mate.
Will do. All right, take care, fella.
Get some sleep, catch up on that jet lag.
Thank you.
Cheers, Nick. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And that is Nick there from representing the Cowboys. So do go check over all that fantastic Cowboy stuff. And if you are going to like a Super Bowl party or anything like that, or you're organising one and you want to come on, give a shout out, feel free to do so. Just tweet at me at Zone Coverage FS. I'll be more than happy to share that with the listeners. So that's what we want. We've got the chat room going. We're sort of connecting people in there. Some good chats going on there. I haven't got a clue what's going on there, fairness. But it seems all... no one's fell out, so that's all good. Mind you, there's people asking whose teams are who. So, yeah, we'll leave you guys to that. But, yeah, get on over into the Spreaker app. Anything that you sort of want to advertise. I know a lot of teams have gone back to pre-season training as well the course of the past couple of weeks. So if there's any sort of rookie camps on or anything like that, any upcoming training that you want a mentioning and a shout out for, again, just hit me up on Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. More than happy to help spread the word about some ongoing pigskin stuff. So that is Fan versus Fan this week. Oh, also a shout out to Junaid. Junaid, thank you for coming on the show, buddy. Always a pleasure to catch up with you, and I hope you do get better soon. sounded a little under the weather there. And thanks for coming on, buddy. And I'll speak to you soon. It's been far too long. I lose track of where I am, and weeks pass me by in the blink of an eye. Right, what do we have? We are 5 minutes away from the end of the show. So looking at my notes, I got a call from Simon. I don't think that's happening because it just never happened. I've got through the weekend words. All the news is done and dusted. Tom's been on. I'm just going to ramble for 5 minutes if that's all right with you guys. Yeah. Cool. Right then, what we will do, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to kill a minute. I am going to kill a minute. I'm not ashamed to say I'm going to kill a minute. The hot route, the results from the hot route are coming up right after this. You are asked to vote on these.
Stafford under center from his 49, second down and 10 with an I formation. Stafford now with hand signals. He looks to the left, he looks to the right, he gets the snap, and he fakes the handoff, and he drops back 5, and he moves up and throws a line drive downfield, caught by Tate at the 25. He's on the 20, the 15, the 10 on the numbers, the 5. He's chased into the end zone for a touchdown.
2nd and 10. Luck steps up, in trouble. Luck throwing on the move, end zone. Oh, it's caught! Dante Moncrief over the shoulder grab for the touchdown. How did Andrew Luck do it? Magic from Luck. Indianapolis extends the lead as Luck extends the play.
Two receivers tight right. Newton in the gun with Fozzie Whitaker to his right. Newton takes a snap. Screen right side Whitaker. 45 cuts back left at the 40. A little bit of room to 35 to the 30. Left side 25-20. Sideline to the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown Carolina! Fozzie Whitaker goes 39 yards.
And that was this week's Hot Route. Again, the calls mainly coming from the guys, over at westward1sports.com. The winner this week of the Hot Route, I forgot what it's called, Daniel, I just said it. Yeah, the Hot Route was Dante Moncrief, the touchdown there. Andrew Luck hitting Moncrief for a 36-yard touchdown against the Bengals last week. That's your winner. So everyone that voted, it went close in the end, but yeah, everyone that voted, thank you very much for doing that. Very, very much appreciated. And this feature seems to be catching on quite well. So that is good stuff there. I'll just scroll down. I never talked about tonight's games. I've only just realised that because everyone's talking about it in the Spreaker room. They're putting me to shame in there, in fairness. So tonight's games, we have, first up is obviously the Cowboys and the Packers. I've got some stats that I wrote down here, actually. The Cowboys and Packers have met 6 times in the postseason, Dallas winning each of the past 4 contests. The teams last played a playoff game in Green Bay in '67. That was a championship game that was known as the Ice Bowl. The Packers won that 21-17. The Cowboys have been perfect on the road, 8-0. Outscoring opponents 275 points to 181. The Packers finished the regular season obviously 8-0 at home, outscoring their opponents 318 to 163. This is the first playoff game in NFL history with a team that went 8-0 at home, hosting a club that went 8-0 on the road. Oh, I think I've got another stat here on Aaron Rodgers. NFL single-season record with 133.2 passer rating at home, 25 touchdowns without a pick. At Lambeau, Rodgers has had 477 consecutive pass attempts and 38 touchdown passes in a row without an interception, including the postseason. So, a big, big ask for the Cowboys there. That's your game. 6:05, I do believe, kickoff is on Sky. Colts at Broncos. I forget what time that kicks off. Possibly 9:40. I do hope it's 9:40. Yeah, I think it is, yeah. Colts and Broncos. So, yeah, Colts visit the Broncos, the rematch of their kickoff weekend. Back in week 1, Peyton Manning, Julius Thomas, they hooked up 3 times. Broncos won that one, 31-24. Colts pushed them late on, in fairness. They come back. Colts obviously won last week, 26-10 over the Bengals. Looked through for 376 yards and a touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, he had 6 catches, 103 yards. Luck has now thrown for at least 300 yards in 3 consecutive playoff games. That is tied for the second longest streak in NFL history. Hilton, he has 496 career receiving yards in the postseason, the second most in NFL history in a player's first 4 playoff games. As for Manning, he's won 9 playoff games, including Super Bowl with the Colts. He has passed 6,589 yards. He's had 9 300-yard plus games in his postseason career. Them stats both top in NFL history. And that is it, yeah. Oh, sorry, the Broncos obviously won the AFC West, 8-0 at home, outscoring opponents 283-166. The past 2 seasons, including the playoffs, Denver has won 17 of its past 18 at Mile High. Ooh, it's going to be one hell of a game as that later on. And that brings me to the end. Just as Terry Rolt says, streaks are there to be broken. Perfect timing. Right then, that is it for this week's Zone Coverage Football Show, episode 27, the divisional round, fan versus fan. Another shout out again to Nick, our Cowboys fan, Junaid, our Packers fan, everyone that's voted on the hot route this week, much appreciated. Everyone that's tweeted at me, I've probably been a little ignorant this week and getting back to the tweets. I do apologise if I've not been able to answer all of those. It's been absolute bedlam, as it has been in the Spreaker app again. Thank you guys. Everyone that's in there at the moment, give yourself a round of applause. If there's a emoticon for that, someone post that, I'd be very impressed. So yeah, everyone that's in there, I will catch up on that thread later on. And like I said, if you want to go check out that thread, I will post the links. Just add some if you want, or sign up and go in there next week. 90 minutes more of Pigskin coming to you. It's Championship weekend. We are just 3 weekends away from it all being over. And I'm going to have to find some... What are we going to do on a Sunday? Nah, the show will be still coming to you on a Sunday. Maybe not every week, but maybe every other week we might scale it back a little bit. Best get some brownie points. Right then, that aside, Stitcher, iTunes, ratings, feedback, much appreciated. Get to the website, tweet the links out, share this madness. If you like what you're hearing, spread the word. If you don't like what you're hearing, contact me, Zone Coverage FS. We changed the hot route. We mixed that up. Email the show as well, zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com. Hit the website for all the links and everything else. It's been an absolutely fantastic show once again. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Massive thank you to everyone that's interacted with me throughout the course of the past 90 minutes. Enjoy the rest of today's games. And remember, hustle, hit, and never quit.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Unable to listen live? We've got that covered. Simply search the Zone Coverage Football Show in either iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And don't forget to subscribe. All our shows and details on how to call into the show can be found on the website www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com.